response to Karceno. I saw your video, and you seem to think that the NBA Finals was rigged. Well, I gotta respectfully disagree with you, Karceno, man. And my brother, he thinks that as well. He thinks the finals was rigged. I respectfully disagree with both of y'all, man. I'm gonna tell you why. You think the league conspired to let Golden State win? What they won? 73 games. So you think the league gonna allow them to win 73 games, get up 3-1 in the finals, and then cheat them out of the finals? Come on, man. That game 7 had nothing to do with the refs. If anything, the refs was helping Golden State. Draymond Green threw up a three. I think it was like 2 minutes left in the game. He bumped his chin. That should have been an offensive foul. He threw his body into LeBron and got 3 free throws, shooting a 3, and he threw his body into LeBron. And they gave him that call when it wasn't no foul. So if anything, the refs was trying to help them in game 7. Now we talk about Draymond Green and suspension. I know a lot of people bringing that up. This was his second time going at somebody's nuts, man. The league can't overlook that. The first incident he had with Steven Adams, they let that slide. Then he did it again with LeBron. He did the same tactic with LeBron that he did with Steven Adams. So you know the league was going to get him a second time. But like I said, man, if this was rigged, why would the league let them get up 3-1? They lost 3 straight games, bro. You got to give us some credit for that. We were the first team ever to come back down 3-1. We beat them 3 straight games. You know how hard it is to win 3 straight games, and we beat them 2 games at their house. Come on, man, you got to give us credit for that, man. We beat them 3 straight games. And for y'all to say this was rigged, y'all trying to take our credit away, man. Y'all trying to take our credit away. We made history. We was the first team ever to win, come back down, being down from 3-1, man. That's history. Give us our credit, man. That's all we asking. Give us credit, man. Stop talking about the refs, that the game was rigged. All we want is credit, man. That's all we want. Give us our credit, man. We was down 3-1, and we beat them 3 straight. If the game was rigged, why was Draymond Green hitting all them threes in game 7? Scored 32 points. Why didn't he just lay down if it was rigged?
He didn't know.
They was trying to win that game, man.
Of course he was.
Steph Curry was just cold. He wasn't hitting his threes like he normally hit.
Yeah.
The refs played no part in them losing. They got beat 3 straight games. Okay, if you want to blame Draymond Green being out for game 5, what about game 6 and game 7? They lost both of those games. And they lost 2 games in Oracle Arena where they never lose at. They never lose at home. And they lost 2 of the last 3 games in their own building.
Lost
Bogut. We celebrated the championship in their building.
Lost Bogut in game 6.
Man, y'all need to give us some credit, man. We made history. We was down 3-1. Hell, even I thought the series was over. I thought it was over. I ain't even gonna lie. And I'm a Cavs fan. I thought that shit was over. And we came back down.
You a Cavs fan? No kidding.
Down 3-1, man. So all I ask for is give us some credit for that, man. Show us some love in your videos, Karceno. Show the Cavs.
Let me show you some love.
Bro, that's all I want to say to you.
Okay, well, thank you, bro. Thanks, Shady Slim. Let me show you some, give you some love, man. Let me give you some love here. I love your passion for your Cleveland Cavaliers. I do. I really do. You know, it blinds you. When people are in love, you know what they is? You know what you ever heard called love blindness? You blinded. You a Cavs fan because of LeBron. You probably from Cleveland, so yeah, you inspired. And no, the kicking situation wasn't the same. A lot of people are blind to the fact that I told you this was going to happen in the beginning of that year. I told you. I said what the league was going to do, right? I said the Cleveland Cavaliers will win the championship this year. Even when Golden State won 73 games, I said the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to beat them in the NBA Finals. I said that. And you know how I feel about LeBron. I said they were going to win it. Then they were down 3-1. And they were going to throw out Draymond Green, which was the most disgusting disqualification in finals history, when you skip the part where LeBron stepped over him and the man was just throwing his arm up to try to get the guy from being up top of him, he wasn't aiming for his balls. He didn't kick LeBron in the nuts like he did the dude from OKC. So it wasn't the same thing. But like I said, blindness. Blindness. And as long as people are blind, everything else is sublime. You were blind to it, son. So, and no one said it's rigged to where Golden State know it's rigged and they playing alone. No, the refs control the game. They gonna determine who wins and who loses. But Golden State had an opportunity to beat the fix in Game 7, and they didn't do it. Thanks to Kyrie Irving hitting the shot. See, the game can always be, you can always find a way to beat the fix. You can work around it. Like the Orlando Magic beating the Cavs. That wasn't supposed to happen. Cavs was supposed to play the Lakers in the NBA Finals. But LeBron, nobody knew he was going to bitch up like he did, but he did. And when he did, we saw the results of that. So I get it. I get your frustration. You want credit for something that nobody really cares about. The NBA don't even care about Cleveland winning that series. LeBron wanted to win one for Cleveland. They said, fine, we'll give you one for your city. Okay, how about that? So that way people be okay with you being in Cleveland. But that's it. We can't give you nothing else. And as you saw since then, what has happened? So I just have a hard time sometimes, dealing with all the things that you guys come up with as far as reasoning and answering to all of these different things that you guys got in place. I love the passion you guys do, and making the videos and mentioning me and having these disagreements. That's cool, but you don't need credit. I know if my team won a championship, I do not need credit from anybody. I don't need validation. I don't need any of it. Nada. There's no way, shape, or form I need validation. If we won it, I don't care what anybody thinks. But you need validation for your team because you know your team didn't win it honest. You know it's always going to be an asterisk by that because that team won at full strength. Didn't Iguodala go down right along with Bogut in Game 6? We didn't even know if Iggy was going to play in Game 7. So that's how you end up winning Game 6. Right? But hey, like I said, you won. So, true as it might be, you should have been happy about that. But credit, I give something to Kawhi, but not that bum. Oh, come on, Khalil. You've been waiting. Let's go, Khalil. What you got to say, Khalil?
I normally don't do videos like this.
Sure
If
you
I
don't.
disagree with somebody's point that they're trying to make in their video, I don't dislike the video or leave a fucked up comment. I just move on. I don't feel it's necessary to do all of that. But Karceno, you got to get called out on this one.
Okay.
I don't like the fact when people make allegations, they have no type of documented evidence, no proof, no facts, no nothing.
Ooh.
They just base it off a hunch, off a speculation.
A hunch.
Or you basing it off a 10-game sample size.
Mm.
Karceno dropped a video earlier basically saying that LeBron James is juicing, and he used this argument off the performance of LeBron James this year. The fact that he's looking for a new biogenics lab because his current one was shut down, the one he had in Miami, and the dramatic weight loss and explosiveness. So I'm going to break down some facts to Karceno. Hopefully these hit home. And I'm going to excuse Karceno because he was probably at home bored or something like that, and he may have looked at the game last night and, felt it necessary to make the video, using all his allegations. And you just look stupid on the video, Karceno. Like I said, I normally don't like doing shit like this, but I ain't going to just allow you to just make a false allegation against one of my players that you don't know nothing about.
Your players. Your coach?
That's cool. Now you putting it out there to the public. Before I start the facts that I want to give you, Karceno, I just want to keep in mind. I want you to keep in mind. The media do a really good job with exploiting black athletes. We don't need people like you to come on here with these allegations.
Do they exploit LeBron?
Where's the facts? When you make a statement like that against somebody, you got to have documented facts. Where's those at?
Okay, I'll get them for you.
You don't have them because they don't fucking exist.
Oh, they don't exist.
Basically saying he lost all the weight because he's looking for a new biogenics lab. So let me give you some facts on the reason why he lost the weight.
Oh, tell us.
First of all, you see those players in the background? Those dudes average out a total age of 25 years old. This is the young nucleus that LeBron James is depending on to win an NBA championship for the city of Cleveland.
Wow. Okay.
Kyrie Irving is a dynamic point guard. LeBron James has never had a dynamic point guard in his whole career.
Wow.
High school, Cleveland the first time around, Miami. Never had one before. So the ball is going to be in Kyrie Irving's hands the majority of the time, which means LeBron James is going to have to move without the basketball. So let me ask you this, Karceno.
Wow.
If you knew you had a dynamic point guard and you're a player that's used to carrying your team, every team you've ever been on, if you got a dynamic point guard and you're a pretty heavy guy, wouldn't you lose weight that you can move around and move off screens and pick and rolls and stuff a lot easier?
You act like LeBron was a member of the Fat Boys.
And then you say he doesn't have them as he used to have. Like, I don't know what LeBron James you've been looking at, but the guy's pretty fucking cut up and he's a naturally big person. I got people like that in my... They don't have to lift weights. They just look naturally big and bulky.
Okay.
So as far as the muscle mass argument, I don't know what LeBron James used this year. And you wanted to base it off this year's games, which is only 10 games. I don't see how you come up with that conclusion and only a 10-game sample size. But it's only been 10 games and you based his performance off, you based your allegations off his performance this year. So let me ask you another question, Karceno. What's LeBron James's career stat line? It's 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. What if I told you that LeBron James is averaging this year 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists? So where the fuck is the decline at? He's averaging the same thing he's always averaged. So where's this decline that you see? I'm from Cleveland. I live here.
No kid.
Every dribble.
No kid.
What decline you're talking about? They're all new players. They're trying to get acclimated to each other.
Oh man, I love this. I love it. I love it. Khalil, let me enlighten you, brother. I don't care how long it's been. That's why I love this whole lockdown quarantine thing. I get to sit back and look at all the stuff people send me where they were like, dude, did you ever see this video? I'm like, I don't think I have. So I'm watching these things that they're sending me, and now I get to respond to Khalil. Well, Khalil, my homeboy Khalil, I'm quite sure your answer has come through by now. But when that was stated by Khalil, Khalil said there was no documented proof that I had brought all these allegations up out of my head. That man's hair just didn't fall out. He didn't age 5,000 years. His face didn't get all muscly. His neck muscles didn't start popping out. He didn't turn into a freak of nature in Miami, he didn't turn into a genetic freak. It was just all natural. There was never a man named Anthony Bosch who back in 2009 in the sports world shook it up, having his name blacklisted by the government. At the time, he was 49 when the Biogenesis of America Clinic, who was a source for performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs, for more than a handful of the top players, including Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, that made A-Rod have to come out again to these allegations. All the heat was on A-Rod because Major League Baseball had their thing going on. This thing had A-Rod's name wrapped all into it. And you think Karceno just threw LeBron's name into this? Oh no. It was a massive investigation that included the incident in 2009 when the clinic was shut down. Ryan Braun tested positive. There is an audio interview that was brought up where a sports analyst was doing an interview with a woman named Jessica, who was the former employee of Bosch. And everybody on YouTube and their mama has heard it. I don't know how you mysteriously don't get it in Cleveland, Khalil Burton. Had nothing to do with Karceno, but she kept track of the financials. And she told the interviewer, not Karceno, that the initials that stood out to her were those of LJ. She claimed to believe was Miami Heat's forward NBA superstar LeBron James. A man who came by the name of Mr. Paul came in every month. Who could Mr. Paul be? He has a friend that now runs Clutch Sports by the name of Rich Paul. Could Mr. Paul that was coming in every month, once a month, to pick up products from a guy whose initials name is LJ? As for what those products were, Jessica doesn't know. However, she did say that Mr. Paul, the person who picked up the products for LJ, was a friend of James. Now, since you said there's no physical evidence of this, it's documented everywhere. There is actual audio interview of this. So if you don't think these are reasons to see this man lose his muscle mass from one season to another, and you telling me it's so he could keep up with some younger players, well, that's telling me the Easter Bunny is coming to my house with a damn basket. I'll believe that before I believe your statement. You're all blind. But I don't blame you. You all from Cleveland. Get out the state lines. Ohio is ruining your brains. Get out now while you can. Don't give me no, well, he's averaging the same numbers. Anybody can hit an average. Is the gameplay the same? Is he dominating the game like he was before? No, he's not. He was dominating above the rim, taking guys off and dunking viciously over people. His jumping and hang time was incredible. And he got stopped. So, What I brought out was documented factuals that I did not make up myself. I am not that good, and I would not bring that up and make that up just to tear the guy down. Just because you've never heard it before, you heard it first from Karceno, don't mean that it wasn't out there. Instead, you should give Karceno his credit for taking the time to address this. And for the rest of the people out there, don't forget to donate to the Cash App Karceno. And don't forget to hit up the Patreon Karceno for life, because things are going to get hot and heavy, especially in April. We're going to end out with a bang. Then we're going to go into April just swinging. We finna go Barry Bonds in April. So, we out! Like that? Barry Bonds? Royds, Brian, Royds, I'm out.